women. Brilliant Black women, how are you today? I hope you are holding yourselves, your daughters and granddaughters uplifted, sacred, and protected. Girl, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about my I know I'd never get into these things. I talk about my daughter all the time, but let me tell you about y'all about my twin. Y'all didn't know I had a twin? Yes, I do. I know. There's two of us. Okay, but my twin is my cousin, okay? And and no, our mothers didn't get married to brothers or some bullshit, but some weird shit, but it's that cousin or sister that you grow up with, or even your friend that you grow up with, that you have been in each other's lives since literally birth, in the same crib, okay, and all the same pictures and shit, okay, and you grew up together. You know, you went through your whole lives together, in each other's business, in each other's lives. What are you eating? I'm not tasting that shit. That's the kind of shit. And then we go, you know, you're teenagers together. We're young women together. We've had children. So, you know, there's a lot that we've gone through together, being there for one another. Right? And we don't always agree, girl. In fact, that's like a hallmark of real twins. At that, and they may look very similar, okay, because we look very similar, but they're usually very different, and they're the other half of each other, if that makes sense, right? So that is totally she and I. And y'all will hear me say that, you know, I process information very differently. I see complicated things as simple, but I see simple things to me are very complicated, if that makes any sense. Okay. But my twin, girl, she ain't like that. She ain't doing all that. What are you talking about? You're doing too much. She'll stop me right there. Stop. You're doing too much, right? And so she's like, girl, people just don't think that way. Got it? Okay, good. Because we've been saying this for how many decades?
Look at us
now?
getting ready to get our hair done. It's all smiles now. Isn't it, twins?
Like, you don't think like everybody else? Everybody else don't think like you. We all know people don't think like you.
Or shall I say last year.
Okay?
That's my baby.
So
I love her. She's so beautiful. Brilliant.
What is it you don't get about that? I'm like, but it doesn't make sense to me. Why would we be looking at all this death and destruction as Black women that is pointed at us, that is literally killing us in the United States? Supposed to be a highly reputable democracy bullshit, but you know, or always has been, nonsense, but you know, hey. And so, you know, she is she's just very straight to the point, right? Like the story is taking forever. She's nothing like that. Okay. So while we're talking about the safety and protection of Black women, I said, I don't get it, because are we just so afraid of that people will stereotype us? Like, that's our biggest problem, because it's not our biggest problem. Like, literally, we are being mutilated and murdered, and we are at the top of everyone's hit list. And we've done nothing to these people who have declared war on us, but we're sitting ducks. And it just makes no sense to me. Okay. So she said, well, most of us, as you know, because you were raised the same way. That's exactly how she'll say it too. Believe that if we pray a hedge around it, if we quote unquote submit, if we do whatever it is, then we'll be okay. It won't happen to us. And we have so much going on as Black women that it feels like, not unlike what I've heard from some of the wonderful ladies in my Discord, it feels like you're asking us to do one more thing. And I was like, whew, I'm getting that message all over the place. Black women don't want one more job. Well, I'm going to put it this way. I think part of the reason that we're worn out, that we can't get any rest, that we can't have the peace that we want, that we can't have the joy, right, is because everything about what we do is under a microscope. And we allow people to gaze at us. We allow people access to us that we don't need to be allowing. Okay? If you cut off all of that, I'm telling you as a person who's cut the shit off, okay? Now y'all know I've cut the shit off. I'll tell you right now, this is not the place for you if you are, especially a white woman, a Black man right now. Okay? Where I'm concerned, don't come here. Just keep it moving. Go somewhere else. Don't try to talk to me. Don't try to explain nothing. You ain't gonna convince me of nothing. Take your ass. Keep Black women and Black girls' name out your mouth, away from any pen, typing, anything. Don't say nothing. Don't write nothing. Don't try to make no motherfucking policy. Nothing. Shut up. Sit your ass down. Fucking out of my eyesight. Okay? And so I think we have to spend so much time being moms, which is, it's so much, especially when you're a single mom. We are trying to do everything to raise good human beings and instead, and be there for the world's children. Because if you look at Black women, we'll put any child on our chest and help them out of sickness and help them eat correctly and all of these things. This is what we do. Okay? This is what we do. Like, that's how loving we are. So this idea that people just go around hurting us and harming us and drawing our blood. You want to blame us for everything your daddy didn't do or what the fuck ever. No. And I'm so glad to see Black women pulling back and going, I'm not going to put on a cape to save you. And I want to tell you something, because my cousin's a Christian. That's a huge difference between us two, right? Because we all know I'm a heretical heathen, right? I believe that every Black woman, every Black girl is what I call goddess born. And one of the reasons we don't know our worth is because we have had our living memory erased, our oral memory erased, and it's difficult to go through and find out who we really are and what we've really been doing here, right? We have kept humans evolving for millions, okay? As Black women, we've been around millions of years. The rest of y'all about 50,000 or so, or less, okay? So we don't even remember any of that. It takes a lot of work to go find it. And one of the things I'm going to say, and she's going to get me for this, but one of the things I'm going to say that I've observed, because as she'll say, you grew up in the same family, you know just what the hell I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, I do. One of the things I've observed is, number one, as Christians, as Black women, from my observation and my opinion is, we, of course, are operating from a patriarchal set of rules, policies, and standards, which is never going to go in a woman's favor. It ain't. It's not. No. Doesn't go in our favor in the Bible. It definitely doesn't. Okay. So that's fine. If, you know, believe what you need to believe to be that greater, better person. Great. Wonderful. And when my cousin and I have these discussions, she is very adamant about, you know, she understands where I'm coming from, and her belief is her belief. Like most of my cousins, and there's thousands of them, who are Christians in their belief system. So if I have to be judged by the rules of a patriarchy, well, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I don't fit into y'all's patriarchal rules. I don't. Okay? You can call me whatever you like to call me. But I've had to do single parenting, working, and putting myself back through school and taking care of my children every single day of their lives, cultivating them, going to school, doing the most, being a million places at once, not sleeping. But it wasn't until I really divested myself of Black men about 20 years ago, 20, and just really started working on myself and started concentrating on, you know, over the past 30 years, my children have been my foremost, you know, concern, but they're grown, you know, they're adults. My daughter, she is an amazing goddess born, you know, herself. My son has been raised in a matriarchy along with his sister, so he knows what his role is, and it's not it's not in the format of a patriarchy. He was never thought to be the man of my house or any of that shit. Okay. So I have to sometimes talk to like my twin and have her sit me down so I can have much more compassion and consideration for where we are and the differences in us as Black women. Because I do believe we can get together, and I do think that we can solve the very dangerous problems that are happening to us as a collective, as a culture of Black women and Black girls around the world, and for me specifically here in the U.S. And I think we're going to have to stop allowing access to, let's say, white women every other minute with all they problems and needing coddling for being fucking racist. You know, racism is a fucking action. It's not just the system. The system is run by people. Can we stop acting like it's some separate issue? And, you know, my thing for Black men is really how often throughout, after the Civil War, you abandoned Black women and Black girls, and how you participated in our rapes, and how you have, in the 1900s until now, just brutalized and beat us. And now you're murdering us every 4.5 hours. It was 3 months ago. So, and last year, about 18 months ago, it was every 6 hours. So I don't trust you. I don't want you around my daughter. I don't want you to come through at all. Don't. Please don't. Because you have declared war on us as Black women and Black girls. And so I think if we stop access to certain collectives right now, okay, and just go, you know, if you're dealing with some white woman, be at work and be like, so anyway, put my money in the bank. There's no need to talk. No, thank you. You manage this position. If they put some dumbass hooker over you, okay, Black women, they manage that position. They gave them the authority to manage that position, but that don't manage you, girl. Okay? You run your life. You decide when you're going to work, when you're not going to work, when you're going to come in, all that shit. Because it's your body. And you have to live with the fallout of yourself getting stressed and sick behind the treacherous, violent bullshit that goes on in our jobs every day, no matter what we're doing as Black women, especially when we have to work with white women. So those two groups are really hiking up the numbers of our death, mutilation, stress, high blood pressure, and strokes, all of these different things, heart attacks. Okay. So I just believe, cut that shit off, right? I'm not inviting your ass in here to fuck me up. That's crazy. And sometimes I'm thinking, how do I find the right way to say that? Right? But for me, it's just straight up. Okay? Now, as Black women, you are a goddess born, as I said. I see you as brilliant, creative. We're all different, but I think we all have some aspect, most of us have some aspect of being empaths. It's not exactly the same thing as being empathetic, okay? Our spirituality is different. How things set with us is different. And I don't think we really understand how powerful we are, right? Everybody else gets it, which is why they're always trying to harness your capabilities and powers and trying to steal it. Or in Blackfist's case, trying to get you to submit all the work you've done over to them so they can lord it over you as some sort of weird fucked up leader because they have a what penis? Girl, bye. That shit ain't happening. Okay? So, yeah, when I was thinking about, how much I don't want Black women, Black girls to be hurt. Not another day. Not go through another fucking thing. Not go through another so-called healthcare visit and have people act like we're lying about our pain or we're lying about the symptoms that we're having, right? Blow us off, tell us there's nothing wrong with us. I have so many people call me, being a nurse, that are in my family, friends, people who told someone to call me or whatever, right? To help them through some of the issues that they might have, health issues. I listen to a lot of Black women and the things they go through too with the health of their children. And I think when we stop giving so much of ourselves to other people, we can sit still long enough to heal and then solve our own problems, right? Because one thing about us as Black women is we know how to solve problems, honey. That's why we're millions of years old. There are people who used to be on this planet and they ain't gonna never be heard from again. But honey, we started this as Black women and we gonna be this. And all the rest of these collectors know it. So I want us to really take our time and take our breath, take those nice clean breaths in and out. And like my therapist will tell me, bring down your central nervous system, girl, because it's on fire. And I want to keep having conversations that maybe you've never heard before. Maybe it's foreign to you. Maybe you never thought of it that way. And then you can take that information, and it might not even make sense right now. It might not make sense in a year, but it might make sense in 2, or it might apply to a certain situation not necessarily all situations, right, in your life. So, yes, you are going to hear some different things from me. You definitely are. And some of it, you're definitely not going to like as Black women. You're not. You're not. Some of it's going to rub you the wrong way, and it's okay. You can say, shit, girl, this shit rubbed me the wrong way today. I'll be back. Maybe. Okay? Some of you may feel like, girl, you curse too fucking much. I can't listen to you, and you need to not come to this channel or whatever. Girl, you accept too many people. You accept too many people as Black women. Yes, I do. I accept all Black women however they come. Okay? Yes, I do. And yes, I do. Yes, I do love dark complected women. Yes, I do love medium complected women. Yes, I do love light complected women. Yes, I do. And I have a special place in my heart for the children, and especially the children of that are called quote unquote biracial, and their mothers are white. I got a special place in my heart for y'all. I feel so bad for y'all. Okay. And I want you to know that if you ever want to, like drop me a line or something like that, please feel free, because if you're looking for history on Black America or just different things, I will definitely give you that information. Okay. Because Black women have been having mixed children forever, girl. So all that nonsense, I don't play those games. Y'all are welcome here. Okay. I don't care what if you LGBTQAI, you're welcome here. As a Black woman, you're welcome here. Okay. As a Black girl, I want you to be able to take whatever information or historical information or whatever, and, tell your daughters, tell your nieces, tell your granddaughters, right? I learned this today about Satima Clark. I learned this about Fannie Lou Hamer. Like, talk to them about Shirley Chisholm, because most of our young Black girls don't know anything about Shirley Chisholm. The first woman to run for president, Black woman. I'm just saying. I want to make sure that, even though we don't agree on everything and we come from different perspectives, let's say we have different skills, different talents. Some of us are healers. In my case, I'm a warrior and a healer. Some of us are philosophers, some of us are scholars, some of us are scientists, some of us are mathematicians, some of us are, I don't know, you name it. All the tech Black women and going into STEM research, like, whew, there's nothing a Black woman can't do, girl. Building and architecture and things like that. We are so good at all of these different things, and we're so well-rounded. So I think we have an opportunity to come together and put aside our differences for a minute or two, and then really use our differences to come up with diverse solutions. Put those on the table for ourselves, right? We can definitely fix things for everybody else. Let the church need another damn building fund, because you do know we've spent $26 million as Black women at church every year. And what is it they're really doing for you? You spiritually have a connection to the God of the Bible and Jesus, right? But in real time, the church itself, with the pastors, the deacons, the deaconess, whoever, are taking your money. and they're not giving anything in return to you as the people who support them and support their lifestyle. So yeah, we're going to have some differences in how we see things, but that's okay, because I learned that way, right? All right. I love y'all, and that just reminds me, I got to go call my twin. I got some questions for her. Love y'all.